So now that we've seen how the structure of an architectural project works, we're going to look at some of the detail now. So what we'd like to do is open a new architectural template. I said before that we'd usually go and set up the levels, but at the moment I'm not going to rename them. But level 0 is ground, and then level 1 in this case is 4 meters in the air. So we're going to start off with the wall command. So click up here. With the wall command started, we get a couple of things. We get this little bar here that's telling us a few things. So at the moment the height is 8 meters and it's unconstrained. That means the top of it's not attached to anything. But we could attach it to level 1, which would make it essentially in this case 4 meters tall. For now I'm just going to leave it at 8 meters unconstrained. When I start drawing, the lengths are going to be governed from the wall centre line, but we could have core centre line, finish face, finish interior, all these different variables about where it's going to take its measurements from. Chain means that once I draw one section of wall, it will move on to another. These are repeated down here on the left, and at the moment we've got a basic wall. External is 102 millimeters of brickwork, 75 mm of insulation, 100 mm of block work, and then 12 mm plaster. If you wanted something different, there's lots of preset wall types in there, but for now we're just going to leave it as is and move back out onto the drawing area. I'm just going to left click to start the wall. As I go round, I can ignore the dimension or use what's there, or I could type in a value and I'll get, in this case, 12 meters. And then I can just keep coming round. It will snap to 90 degrees and various angles. I can just keep coming round. When I get level with the top of the wall, I get these projected lines. Left click again, left click to finish. I'm still in the wall command at the moment, so I can either right click and cancel to finish. So what I've got now is a wall. I'm not worried about the size. Okay, and at the moment, because I've drawn my wall in a clockwise direction, I know that the exterior of the wall, the brickwork of this wall, okay, is going to be on the outside. So we've got brick, insulation, block work, and then there's a little layer of plaster. If we click on the little home button up here, it goes to our 3D view. So we can see that the brickwork is indeed on the outside. If you've gone round anti-clockwise, then your brickwork's going to be on the inside. If we go back to the first floor plan and I select a wall, if you've done it with everything, all you just need to do is click on the wall and just toggle. Okay, so at the moment those arrows are on the inside, which means that the exterior face is on the inside. So as you can see, I went round clockwise, but if yours is the other way around, when you click, you can just toggle them so those arrows are on the outside. And then your plaster will be on the inside and your brick on the outside. So that's exterior walls. They do all join up together. So as you can see here, I started up here where I brought this wall back in. It's actually joined up, so you can see the air gap running around. Those other bits are interconnected now. Right, so while we're here, I'll just show you some of the commands that I'm using with my mouse to zoom in and out. First one is with the scroll wheel. If I push the wheel away from me, I zoom in, scroll it towards me, I move out. If I double click the middle mouse wheel, I get the zoom all. It just like zooms out to the extents. If I press and hold the middle mouse wheel, I can pan. There's one final command that works only when you're in a 3D. Those still works, so you scroll in and out, double click to zoom all, press and hold to pan. But if you just press the shift key with your left hand and then press and hold the middle mouse wheel with your right hand, then you can rotate your object. You can also click on the faces of the view cube and the arrows and start turning stuff around. And that little house command will take you back to sort of a standard ISO view. So I'm going to double click back on level 0 floor plan to return to my floor plan. I'm going to start the wall command again. Now I'm not going to draw any more external walls. I'm going to click in the drop down box, and as I come down, as you can see, I've got some internal walls. I'm going to pick this one that's an internal wall. It's got 100mm block faced both sides with 12mm plasterboard. So I'm going to go along here, ignore that 1700 dimension. Okay, so as I move away from endpoints, it will give me a value. I can accept that just by left clicking, or I could, again, if I want to put some sides in, I can actually type those values in itself. As I come along, I've got the intersection or endpoint. At some point it will find the middle, the little triangle, and then the other end. So it will find those points, the midpoints and the intersections all over the place. So I'm just going to find the midpoint, come down somewhere and just come back in so that I'm perpendicular now to that wall. And then right click and cancel to finish the command. So if I go to my 3D view now, what we'll see is that the outside wall was unconstrained. And remember, I could have selected to level 1, or if we're doing a proper 2-story, we'd put another level in for where the roof started, so that the walls were the right height. But the internal wall has only gone up 1 floor. So if I click on it, you see that one was constrained. Here the top constraint was up to level 1. And if I go into an elevation view, click on the little spectacles, hide an element and click on a wall, or click on a wall and hide the element. There you can see the internal wall is only up to level 1. So I'm going to click back on the sunglasses, reset that and go back to my floor plan. So I've got external walls, internal walls. The door command is quite similar. So at the moment we've got these double exterior doors that are flush, and they are 1810 by 2110. Again, if I drop down, I've got a couple of various sizes there. So I've got some narrower doors and some slightly wider doors, and I've also got internal single doors. So at the moment I'm going to pick my double doors, and they'll just hold over a wall. Now the door is an element, and it will only fit, only be allowed to drop into wall element. Okay, so as soon as I hold it somewhere over that something isn't a wall, I get the no entry symbol. Zoom in a little bit. Okay, you can place the door, and whether you pick the internal or external sides of the wall, depending on which way the door goes round. Obviously I want these to open inwards, so I'm going to go more to the outside and then click to drop down. And what you can see happening now is actually cut away. Just put all like the door jamb and everything in. Again, if I misclicked, I can flip the sides of the door. In the moment when you see a single door, you can flip which way it opens. So the command will also find by default the center. So if you move around, it will find like a mid position, or it will start moving away in increments away from another wall, like so. Let's put a double wall there in the middle. I'm now just going to change type. I'll go to an internal door, door, and we'll put a door there. And again, like I said, you can flip the sides of the door. You can also flip the way that it opens by clicking on these arrows. Right click, cancel. Again, to come out of the command. Windows works in exactly the same way as doors. Again, so they need to go inside of a wall. So again, you can choose between the variety of panels. Again, you need to just be a bit careful with which side you're going to put the wall. So if we go inside, it'll actually put the window sill, the internal sill on the outside. So you just have to be a bit careful there. And just like Windows, you can flip them round. And if they had an opening, this arrow would, like if it was like left hand pane opening, that arrow would flip it around as well. Okay, let's just go and change type again. So in this case, I haven't got very many in here. So let's go and pick another different type. So I've just minimized that drop down box. I'm going to click on edit type and I'm going to hit load. What it does now is opens up essentially like a catalogue of parts. You'd come down to find Windows right down the bottom. Okay, and then you can just scroll through. I'm just using the arrow key now. So we've got a whole different variety. So there's some skylights there. So I'm just going to pick a round one. That's quite good. Hit OK. What that's done is now loaded us 600, 900, 1200 and 1500 diameter round windows to place inside. Let's just flip that onto the outside. Okay, so I'm just going to hit on the 3D button, and now you'll see I'm still in wall command. So you can press escape. I've just pressed escape a couple of times on the keyboard now, so you can see now that I've put some doors and windows appear down inside. You can actually see the other doors and windows that are placed inside. And that's simply how you create walls, both internal and external, doors and windows.